How's it going, guys? So we're back with some Skyrim modding. It's been a while. And yeah, last time I was busy setting up an API, which is done now. I'm pretty excited. All that's left is to do some documentation. And then we're pretty much ready to move on. It's pretty exciting. Hope you guys are doing well. It's a beautiful Wednesday. It's nice and warm. I'm glad spring is on the way. Winter is coming to an end now. It's been absolutely freezing this side of the world. Alright, so let's see where we stopped. Right, so I was busy documenting the API. Let's go ahead and continue doing that. Let's see if I can't get my pomelo out. Which loves jumping all over the place. There we go. Cool. We're ready. Alright, so let's see. Well, we had the syntax, we had the API version, we had the description, we have the parameters. I'm wondering if I should separate it like that. I don't know now. Looks a little bit better. I guess that works better? Required and optional? I just feel a little bit harder to read. Maybe that's a bit better. How's that? Does that work? I guess we can leave it like that for parameters. And then the return value. Are we going to have a return value? That's something we need to actually look at. I guess the return value can be none. We're not expecting to get a value back, so might as well leave that none. To erase your face, my mind. Awake, I lie here staring up beyond the sky. And the stat count. So let's make sure we've correctly explained the parameters here. That's kind of important. So mod name, the name of your mod. I guess we could change this to the mod. The name of the mod that SXPA will be providing XP on behalf of, because obviously it's on behalf of the mod. And the notification message is the notification message shown to the player when the action is performed. The name of the action being tracked. The value of the base SXPA experience points. The value of the base Did I say the value of the random SXPA experience points are multiplied? Wonder if I should capitalize these to make it clear what they are. Bool, int. Can I look a bit better? String, 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 float, bool, int. So the return value is none. We're obviously not returning anything. Example reward mod XP, sky shards, absorb the sky shards, absorbed. 1.50. Yeah, that works. Do we need the is update?
Take a moment right here, feeling like it's out here. Driving towards the sun with a rose and a gun. Feel the wind in my hair, going nowhere I swear. Like an outlaw on the run, dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running, no. Hold on, don't let go. Running, running, no. Keep running.
I wonder if we should change stat name to action name and action count. And we can just quickly change these to notification message.
Told my boss that I'm done.
And the multiply as well if it's an update, and the action count.
Maybe guilty but proud. Now I'm an outlaw on the run. Dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running, no. Hold on, don't let go. Running, running, no. Keep running.
Oops. Okay. That should work nicely. We don't need the get event handler data, I think. Nope. Hmm. Cool, so that's done. I wonder if the notification message should be optional. That's something to consider as well. Huh. I don't think it should be. It should definitely have the mod name. Action name. So you would need to set up a way to check whenever an action you're tracking is performed and to then call this function. And pass the relevant parameters. Let's get this to the right width now. So rewards play with SXPA experience points, you would need to set up a way to detect is a better word here. You would need to set up a way to detect whenever an action you're tracking is performed, and to then call this function and pass the relevant parameters to reward the player. We should add a property here, an integer, a float property SXPA API version. And then we need a way to get that API version. Whoops. And that's going to be a float. And then we need to get the value, so it's we're gonna return. That should work. And let us get our creation kit up and running.
It's not a game that I am playing. My love, trying to hold my feeling, I don't know what's right. I'll find the best way out there.
API and the mod support failed here, reason being oh, hold up. That should have been fine.
It's mysterious. I think I found my own way. Isn't easy to show with the weight of the world on my shoulders.
Do I need to cast it as a float? Shouldn't have to.
find the best way, I think that I might. I know you made it in the nick of time. I'm calling on you. I think we're made of something. I think we're made of something. Trying to hold my feeling, I don't know what's right. I'll find the best way, I think that I might. I know you made it in the nick of time. I'm calling on you. I think we're made of something.
Continue.
I think we're made of something.
Alright, let's see how that works. Just waiting for the creation kit to load. Go. Let us first compile that. Are we still getting that error? Don't return a none from get API version. Types do not match. Cast missing. All types are related. We do that. I wonder if we. Where's our API? There it is. API version. Huh. Float can only have two. Think about this one now. I'm wondering 1.9 divided by 10. Unless I made it a string. Yeah, because the float can't be 1.1.0 like that. Actually, one that we actually have to think about. Unless we do it as a string? Because how would it be? If this was 1.0.0, it would be 100, basically. And if it was 1.1.0, it would be 110. So 2.3.7 would essentially be 237. And 1.0.1 would be equal to 101. 1.1.0 would be 110. I think that's the only way. Because I mean, we could have 1.0 and return it like that. There needs to be an extra dot there. That's the only problem. Because 1.2.1 would be like this. So maybe they should compare it as a string. So maybe this turns to string. And then we need to update this from a float to a string. So there we go, and we just change this to a string and we say 1.0.0. There we go. So that worked. See if that will compile. Yeah, that worked. Could add that. There you go. Essentially we want to copy this. Hey! Stupicide, how's it going, man? It is the, well, SXPA. I'm working on the API version now for the mod, so that mod authors can do certain things with the SXPA mod. What brings you to the side of the live streams? I'm just gonna document this real quick. What's the description of this? Returns the API version as a string. Useful if you wish to ensure the user has a specific API version. Whatever function calls seed. There we go. You don't know how to set up your compiler? You mean your Papyrus compiler? Or do you mean through like the Notepad++ plugin? You can compile vanilla scripts, but if you yeah, SKSC, you get like errors or stuff. You check the debug logs. I generally try to stay away from SKSE stuff. Not to have anything against it, but I find if you're gonna code and you want things to work the way they should, you should have the base game. I see you're busy streaming right now. That's pretty awesome. You do permadeaths and stuff. That's cool. Huh. Yeah, I see you using SXP. SXPA is a little bit different. It's not the same thing. It's kind of my take on a very lightweight version of the mod that you can pretty set up and tailor to your requirements. And now that I'm adding API support, I hope that other mod authors will incorporate it as well. I've actually incorporated it into one of my other mods, which worked pretty nicely. Is it the same? I feel I track things a lot more differently and more reliably from what I could read, because I use Bethesda's inbuilt stats. So the moment a stat is changed, one of my monitors picks it up and then immediately actions it. And with version 3 of the mod that I'm going to be releasing soon, there's going to be automatic XP spending. So if you tag skills, you can tag up to 4 skills. You can automatically put experience points into them. So you can basically just play the game, get rewarded, and it will just level up the tag skills for you. To be honest, I didn't really realize that there was, you know, like an SXP mod that existed, and I had this idea. Turns out it was done in a similar fashion, and yeah, I just decided I'm gonna continue because my dream for it is a little bit different, like goals and where I want to end up and whatnot. I'll pop a link in chat and you can feel free to check it out. There you go. Yes, I see you have quite an interesting setup yourself in terms of mods. Permadeaths are always a lot of fun. I'm actually looking at an overhaul soon for the entire experience system and integrating it with my mod. If you need help sometime setting up your compiler and whatever, feel free to let me know. I think that's good. API version, we added that in 1. Syntax, it's gonna be basically this. And we have no parameters. So it's purely that. Parameters? None. And the return value you just need to uncomment one line for the SXP mod and fail. What are you basically trying to achieve? Like, what would the goal be ideally for you and your run? There's a script in the SXP mod that seems to cause crash dumps. I don't see how uncommenting a wait line is going to change anything. All that really does is tell the game to halt execution briefly. If they are stack thrashing, what it sounds like, then it would be best to look at the debug log and try to figure out why. If you're missing something, it's probably a dependency, a script that is required that you may not have, maybe that the developer had. That's the only thing I can really think of. Okay. SKC libraries you can get. I assume you have SKC installed, right? You've got the archive. Oh, I don't really use the batch file. The best thing to do, the easiest thing, is load up the creation kit. I don't know if you're using Mod Organizer or whatever, but you should have that set up to open the creation kit. And then from the creation kit, see over here, go to Gameplay, Papyrus Script Manager, and you'll find whatever the script is. Then you just go right click compile. The Notepad++ method, the batch file method, is a bit convoluted, and I don't know, I just prefer running it from the creation kit, mainly also because I edit my plugins and whatever while I'm doing it, so it just makes sense. But try that and see if that doesn't work for you. Because I remember with the batch file you had to like specify the source folders and stuff like that. So the easiest would be try the creation kit first, and if that doesn't work, no, that definitely should work. Cool, man, yeah. And let me know what your needs are, because it would be cool if you happen to use my mod and then give me feedback and stuff like that, because I obviously in active developments I can always add things, new features, stuff like that. Will it include the SKSE stuff? It will include everything in your scripts folder, so everything in your data, sources, scripts. Yeah, that's right. So you start the creation kit from there. And then I assume that you would have SKSE installed via Mod Organizer. So obviously Mod Organizer needs to see all your scripts. And you obviously need the mod installed and anything else that depends on the mod. So SKSE, all the scripts. Oh yeah? Yeah, I do have notifications in my mod. Make it so that you can disable them. That's a brilliant idea. I think at one point I wanted to do that. I'm gonna go add that. I don't think I have that as a idea, do I? No, I don't. Add option to disable notifications. Great stuff. Yeah, I can imagine that. That is very true. Immersion for some people is very important. I'm gonna go and add that. It's actually brilliant. I wonder, where do I have my notifications? Because I could do that right now. Then I can actually show you how it's done. Where did I set this? Oh, here it is. So, would you like to see? Do you have the time? I can actually do this while you're here. No, I meant like, are you going to be here for a short while longer? Because then I can actually test this. It's exciting when someone's here. Okay, cool. I can briefly show you the SXPA mod so that you can see the difference. It's very simple, lightweight, very similar to so there's no SKSE, no dependencies, nothing. You basically just get a power. If you want to modify anything, you can run the power. From there you have an option to spend your experience points across the 3 different tiers. Combat, everything under combat. Magic, everything under magic. So for example, you can see how destruction is 15 right now. I could go into magic, destruction. I can set a certain amount, or let's say half of my experience points, into destruction, and it basically leveled it up. So we converted 2,397 generic XP into destruction XP, and yeah, basically that in a nutshell. As for the activities, there will be too many to list, but you can see under tracking options, tracked activities, you have can't even think of the word right now. I basically grouped them under general, same as the stats in Bethesda. You can see every single track activity, and you can basically enable or disable them for where you get experience points for that specific activity. Under quests, stuff like misc, main, side quests, companion quests, every other types of quests. Stuff like magic, Dragon Souls collected, words of power learned. So when you do one of those actions, like I know you don't like notifications, but for example this, when we harvest something, you'll see at the top left, we got harvests 47 XP. The cool thing about this that stands out from the other mods is that the experience points they're based on your player level. So it scales with you. There's a linear and there's an exponential option. If you go to XP settings under XP system type, you'll see you can switch to linear or exponential. And basically linear means that things start at a slow, really low level rate, and they continue to grow slowly over time. Whereas exponential, for skill costs and for experience points, for example, you could get like 10 XP at level 1, 15 at level 2, and then eventually by level 80 you're getting like 20,000 experience points. Obviously balanced out by the skill cost, so it makes things a little easier in the beginning, but it becomes a real grind late level, whereas linear is like constant, so it depends on your playstyle. So pretty much every activity that you could think of in the game is covered. And yeah, those notifications do show up, so I'm gonna make sure I disable them now. So let's switch tasks. And we're gonna pick add option to disable notifications. Let's do it. And we're gonna add a new boolean. I think I'm gonna have to add it in. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I've scaled down ingredients. They only have like a 0.05 XP multiplier, so you get very little XP, where the other mods basically give you around the same or similar stat experience, and they don't scale with your level. So ingredients will give you hardly anything, like maybe 2-3 XP, whereas like defeating a dragon, which is a multiplier of 10, will give you way more. So I put a lot of, I think I spent 30 hours balancing everything, so it's like really balanced. I have this entire spreadsheet that I did. B show notification. That's what we're gonna call it. And then all we're gonna do is every time there's a notification message, and not B show notification. Oh no, and B show notification. That's what we want. I heard of it. Why'd you say there was for a time? Did it get pulled down or something? So we're gonna say if show notifications on, so wherever we're showing notifications,
Wherever love goes, there is also misery. It's
It has been removed. Weird. Well, I plan to port this to SSE. So that's pretty much it. We just added the option. So if B show notification is true, it's not gonna have messages. Yeah, that sucks if you have Papyrus dumps. Tell me, so I have a function where I check if you reach the XP limit, because there's a limit of 2 billion. Very hard to hit, but in the event that you do reach it, I show the player a message, just letting them know, hey, you've hit the XP limit, spend your experience points, because you're basically not going to earn anymore. Should that be something that also gets disabled if you turned off notifications? That would be a notification worth displaying. You don't have to go ruin your immersion. I don't expect it to ever pop up, so it's just in the event that it does. Cool, I'll leave that then. True. So now what we need to do is go to our creation kit and look at our menus and where are we going to put this. I'm guessing under the miscellaneous menu. I think it fits under miscellaneous. So we can add an option here called toggle notifications. Well, I wonder, is toggle the right word? Edit notifications, maybe? Not sure. Toggle notifications. There we go. Miscellaneous settings, toggle notifications. You can say disable all notifications. Enable all notifications. The rest I'll leave. Wait, this should be disable disable XP activity notification, because that's exactly what it is. Yeah, I plan to add an MCM menu, but like I said, because this is purely without SKSC, meaning no dependencies, I had to kind of make my own MCM with a, well, craft the entire menu system. You should see my menu script, it's insane. Here it is. Look at this. So I have, I'll tell you now, over 5,000 lines of code. You're about to see how I'm gonna implement this now. Okay, so what we need to do now is add our property, a boolean, bool property b disable the XP activity notifications auto conditional. We get to add this right at the top. Notifications are shown. False equal to hidden. Cool. So we got B disable XP activity notifications. So we have that. Now what we need to do is go to our configurator menu and we need to create a new menu. Let's just make sure that 38 doesn't exist. I don't think it exists. Nope. So we can copy we need to find the debug. Debug settings. There it is. (28), 29, 30. Okay, so we're gonna have to add this right at the end. Add it like that. Yeah, you can individually, like literally one by one. Totally customize it for every single individual activity. We're going to set iMenu to 38 and then right at the top under debug, go. Where's debug? Debug. There's debug. Toggle notifications. T. That should go there. No. That goes after R. There. Perfect. Customization is key. That's definitely true. So you should be able to customize everything, and that's why I try to not hard code anything so that the user can basically decide exactly what they want. There we go. I think we are ready to plug this bad boy in. We can remove all of these. If I button is 0, I'm gonna have to add FIS support for that. For presets and stuff. Like I said, I try to keep everything vanilla, and then I'll add optional modules such as FIS and SKSE. So those are definitely going to be added. Oh right, yeah, that makes sense. Definitely, that's easy enough to add. So here what we're doing is we're just changing this value from true to false. So this becomes disable XP activity notification. That means this should be true. And then we check if this disable notifications for XP activities. Else, if we are enabling it, we have to set that variable to false. And then we make sure. And then we have a notification. Enabled notifications for XP activities. Else if button 2, or we don't have anything on button 2 yet. We only have button 1, 2, 3 is previous menu. We need a previous menu and we need a close menu. There we go. Let us take this all the way to here. So button 2 is the previous menu and button 3 will close it off completely. And if we said button 2, then we're looking for this menu, which is menu 24. There we go. Cool. So we are ready to test this right now. So iMenu is 38, and if you enable this button, it'll show this, and the button is disable notification, so we'll go and disable it. Also enable it. This will return it. This will exit it. Cool. That's ready. Now let's go and compile. The configurator menu, compile. I'll need to add that menu as a property the moment it's done. And then the other thing we need to do is check for this notification. So everywhere that uses set random XP value, that is going to require so that is right here. We have a bool right here, which is called B show notification. And that's gonna be right there, and right over there, and right over there. Anywhere else that we're calling this function? Nope. Okay, now wherever update player stats is called, that needs to be updated too. So I think the player alias calls it. Yeah, it does. So exponential XP gain. This is where we need to call this one. Oh, my bad. Sorry, I've been updating all these. And where else? Where else do we call update player stats? Here, we call it here. Oh, something happened as well. Yeah, I was wondering, it took such a long time to finish. I'm gonna look now because I got some error. Basically, because we added a new variable that we're checking, we have to update the variable wherever it's called, basically. And let's go to the creation kit to see why there's an error. Extraneous input B show notification expecting right parentheses 592, line 592. Let's go to 592. I'm always missing parentheses. Oh, I don't have a freaking ampersand. How did I miss that? That's done. Yeah. Cool. Configurator menu. Wait. Wrong one. Compile the functions. Where's the functions now? There it is. Compile. Okay, and then under the configurator menu, for wherever we call update player stats, update player stats. We don't. Okay, cool. So let us go and compile the configurator menu again. Okay, it succeeded. Great stuff. And then we can go into our updater, configurator menu, and then this default value, we can autofill it, and it finds the new menu. Great stuff. Can save that, and we are ready to test it. I think I'm not missing anything. That was literally it. Yeah, cool. Let's go and test it. That didn't take too long. It was like less than 15 minutes. About 12 minutes. New record. First time like someone's requested something, I like do it on stream. But it's cool. It's like a new feature. If you have any more suggestions and stuff, since you play quite often, you must let me know. Where's my save? There it is. Okay, let's make sure that the boolean is there. Is it there? B use. Huh? B show? Where's? You still there, stupid side? Whoa! Anonymous! Thank you for the $5 donation. Gotta love those anonymous people, huh? That was so awesome. I can't imagine it was you. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. It's really, really awesome of you. So yeah, just going back into the game now to test the to make sure it's working. To update the event handler, I forgot to compile it. The event handler is basically where all the variables are stored for the mod. So we're just gonna check it real quick. B, we're looking for the variable. There it is. B disable XP node. B disable XP activity notifications. False. So let's go and test it now. First thing we need to do is make sure that it's in the menu system. So that'll be under miscellaneous. Toggle notifications. And there it is. Wait, what? Toggle. Oh no, I forgot to add the menu. That was the one thing I forgot. Kinda knew I forgot something. Configurator menu. Because this changed now. So this one is toggle notifications. Menu 38. And we basically have to go to the miscellaneous menu. Let's find it real quick. There it is. Was it 38 now? I forgot. So if I button 0, that's debug. Let's just compare it to our miscellaneous menu here. The debug is 0. Mod compatibility is 1. 2 is reset, 3 is toggle notifications. Okay, this is where we have to insert it. So over here, toggle notifications. I think it was 38. I just want to make sure. Yeah, it is 38. So 38 for this toggle, and then button number 4 is wipe. Button number 5 is... Button 4 is wipe. Button 5, oh, is previous. And then button 6 is exit. There we go. That is all we need. Let us just go and compile that. Configurator menu. There won't be any incompatibilities with the uncap and your mod, right? I mean, if you lower XP for vanilla XP, your mod still gives the values that it. Okay, so basically how this works, and the reason why it works so well, is my mod is completely isolated. Everything that it needs to run is built into the mod itself, so it is virtually compatible with every single mod out there. The experience points that it earns is its own, so every time you do an activity, it's tracked and stores it to the mod itself. So it's completely isolated. Like, you could literally run SXP alongside this mod, is basically how compatible it is. That would be silly because they basically both do the same thing, but just as an example. So there are 0 compatibility issues that you would have to worry about. And like I said, with the option for automatic XP spending, that is kind of like a big feature that doesn't exist in any of the other mods. You tag 4 skills, I'll show you now when I get into the game, and it automatically, every time you earn XP, it will distribute the experience points across the tag skills that you have. Virtually none. It has a polling script that only ever checks for if a stat was changed, and if a stat was changed, only then will it call the function. So basically it would only ever run the main function if a stat was changed. Otherwise the polling script that runs literally just checks if this is true, do this, else do that. Virtually zero performance hit. And I've tested this thoroughly myself, so like that was the main thing that I want to do, is make sure it's performance friendly. So if we go here now, miscellaneous, toggle notifications, there are the menus. Yay, so that's working! So let's see if we can enable and disable. So if we look here, B disable XP notifications is set to false. So if I disable notifications here, we get a notification, disabled notifications for XP activities, and if we check the variable, it should be true. There we go. And then if we enable it, it should go back to false. There we go, it's false. So that's working too. Previous menu is working. Can we close out? Yes, we can. So the menu is 100% working. That's great. Now let's test if it actually does what it says it does. So let's go find 2 ingredients. Or like just 2 activities that I can perform really to test. Ah, perfect. Here we go. So we're gonna harvest this thistle. We should get a notification top left. Wait, do we have it enabled or disabled? Huh. That's disabled now. Oh, okay, hold on. I didn't update the player alias script. Yay! I really need to... Oh, and you've basically not been seeing anything because I've been showing the creation kit. That's wonderful. Player alias needs to be updated because that's kind of important. What else needs to be updated? The config file can be updated as well. Functions we've already done, so that should be it. Let me see. What did you say? A ini file. How about that? That way you could have the presets I was talking about too. I mean, yeah, that is kind of vanilla, isn't it? The game reads ini files. So I just have to figure out how to read the ini file. I think that's possible. Read ini file. Oh, you can, apparently. Yeah, it's a good idea. Otherwise, I just would have used Fizz. Fizz is a mod, I'm sure you heard of it, that you could basically have presets and save them. I kind of try to stay away from relying on other mods to make your mod work, because then imagine if the mod's pulled or something and then it doesn't work, etc. And like there are people that really don't want to use SKSC for whatever reason, so that's why I always go in with bare bones approach first and then add support for other mods afterwards. So here we go, let's test again. We're in the game. And I could show you now what's happening. So here's a configurator, here's the miscellaneous, here's toggle notifications. So when we say disable XP activity notification, we get a message at the top left saying notifications were disabled. And then we check our variable here, and it should say true. So you see, XP notifications, true. Now if I go enable it, it should set it to false. Let's go check again. There it is, it's false, so that's working. So now, if I harvest this thistle, we get a notification top left, which is what's expected because notifications are enabled. Let's go and disable notifications now. So we're going to disable them. So now if I harvest this thistle, you should get no notification. And there we go. No notifications. No! What? How did that sneak through? Okay, hold on. We gotta debug that. That's not okay and not expected. I want to see my debug log real quick. Could have sworn it wasn't showing, and then last second it shows. So we have no errors in our mod script. So how is it possible that it showed that notification? Physically that shouldn't be possible. Let's just go check our function real quick. So that is set random XP notification. Let's check every notification here. Oh, here's the problem. Under this else, you see this else here? We didn't add a check. So it's literally just gonna show the notification either way. So now we're saying else if B show notification. That was the problem, my bad. That should literally be all. Oh, and over here, else if B show notification. There we go. So that should be all, and then we can just quickly go and compile that, and we'll be good to test for the last time. Cool, no errors, that compiled. Yeah, so if you got a chance, Stupicide, it would be awesome if you could try out the mod in one of your runs. And what I could do for you until I create like a FIS optional or an any optional to save your settings is if you let me know what settings you want, I can make you basically a tailor-made like script or plugin that will have those settings for you always. I'd be more than happy to do that for you. Okay, we are back in the game. It's not just for harvesting though, hey? There's like near 100 plus different things that you could be doing to get XP. So I just keep testing the ingredients harvested because they're the easiest thing to find. Okay. So we should get a notification for this. Let's check. You get XP for chopping wood and cooking and all. Okay. Yeah, you probably would. Okay, so we didn't get any notifications there, and if we go and toggle this now, toggle notifications, and we harvest now. There we go, we got notifications. So that's working. We can enable and disable notifications at will. Thank you for that, Stupicide. That's like, I think, the quickest like feature addition ever. From production to testing to debugging. Let's confirm it works again, so I'm gonna disable notifications. So we harvest the tundra cotton. And we get no notification whatsoever. Oh, I have a lot of customization already. Like I said, like if you see here, XP settings, you can configure the system type, you can configure the minimum reward of XP that you get, and the minimum base, and the maximum. You can configure the multipliers, so how much literally every single stat will give you as a multiplier. You can choose a tracking option. If you don't like the fact that the game is constantly checking for activity, you can turn that off and switch to passive tracking. Every single activity in the game can be enabled or disabled. So yeah, I had all that customization, just not that specific one. Oh yeah, so I could show you the automatic XP spending now. So you go to XP setting, configure automatic XP spending. Then tagged skills. Let's say slot 1, we're going to add a skill and we're going to say, I don't know, two-handed. And then we can actually change the priority. So if you had two or more skills tracked, setting the priority means how much of a split of the XP is going to go to a certain skill. So if I set our two-handed to high priority, and slot 2 has heavy armor, and I change the priority to low, heavy armor is going to get the least XP, and obviously the other one's going to get the most. In that case, I think it's like 75-25 split based on the two. You can also check the skill to see what's in that slot. You can change the skill. So you've got all that customization there. So we've tagged those two. Now before I continue, let's check the XP we have. We have 4822 experience points to spend. We can also reserve XP, meaning if we want to always keep at least 1,000 experience points for whatever reason to manually spend points, we can do that. So now we've reserved 1,000 points. So now it will spend up to whatever the limit is. And now we can finally enable automatic XP spending. And now you're going to watch it literally level up to 2 skills. So there goes two-handed. We just spent 3,822 points to two-handed, as well as heavy armor. So let's check. So now if I go and perform an activity in the game, yeah, exactly, that's what I was trying to tell you. That's what automatic XP spending is. So now you can go run around and perform an activity. I think the easiest one at this point, I'm going to just speed mode 1.5, toggle map marker 0. So there are locations discovered. You get experience points for finding a location. So check now, I'm going to find this location. You're going to see the top left, I got XP, and it literally converted the XP we got of that into two-handed. So I can run around now discovering locations, and it's going to level up my two-handed. Check, my two-handed just went to 41. So you just have to play the game, and whatever tagged skills that you tagged, it's going to spend them. And you can change that at any point in time. By switching them out, you can disable it as well. I like to be a mage and spend my XP on heavy armor only. Yeah, like I said, look, have you not seen? Check. You go to XP settings, configure automatic XP spending. Then under tag skills, you have 4 slots to fill with skills. You don't need to use them all. In this case you said you're mage, so I'm going to remove that. I'm only going to have the first slot used. So under slot 1, I change the skill. And you go through all of the skills to find what you're looking for. So you said heavy armor. So heavy armor is over here. So I set it to heavy armor. So now, every time that we go and perform an activity, in this case we're discovering locations to earn experience, it just converted, you see, 197 generic XP to heavy armor. And there we go, our heavy armor just increased to 23. Let's keep running around and finding locations. And see if we can't increase. There we go, heavy armor went to 25. Ah, I gotta get up there. There we go. The heavy armor just went up as well. So as you can see, that's basically how it works. Our heavy armor's at 26 now. And you can imagine you can tag up to 4 skills at a time. And it will literally just automatically spend. Every time you earn XP, it's gonna put the XP into the skills that you've tagged. All of it. And if you don't want all of it spent, that is why you can go and reserve XP. So remember, I reserved 1,000 experience points. That means that I will always have 1,000. So if I go spend XP, you can see I've got exactly 1,000. That allows me to then also be able to put something into, I don't know, let's say I needed to level my sneak. Then I could do that. Maybe 1,000 points is too little, then you could give yourself 100,000, however much you want. You can fully customize that. So I think that's going to be a really fun feature that most people are not used to, that doesn't really exist in any of the other mods. And I mean, once you set everything, it's pretty much set and forget. And if you don't... So like I said, I spent over 30 hours balancing the experience point gain so that you won't get overpowered. For example, I think my balance was to take a skill from level 1 to 100 at player level 1. It would take you something like 64,000 actions. So that's like finding 64,000 locations. So obviously it makes it so that if you play a level 1 trying to max a skill, it should be nigh impossible, right? But at level 1 you are able to get it to like level 30, level 40 with relative ease. So basically allows for a great set of customizability. Whereas obviously if you were level 100, max level, well just level 100 in this case, it would take you a total of 64 actions to level a skill max from 1 to 100. So the balance is heavily there. Yeah, you can toggle the automatic stuff. It's off by default. You would have to turn it on and configure it. Yeah, you can. So let me run you through that. You go to XP settings. So there's an entire formula that I have set up that takes the minimum and maximum amount of experience points. So the minimum is the least amount of XP that you can earn. The maximum is the most. Now that is just a base. On top of that you have multipliers which affect it further. So let's say at 100, right, as a minimum. If you have 0.25 as a multiplier, it will actually divide it. So 100 becomes 25. So keep that in mind. Whereas if the multiplier was 2 and the minimum is 100, your minimum is going to become 200. So with that in mind, you can change the minimum, as you can see here, and you can change the maximum. Then on top of that, you could configure the multipliers for every single action individually. So let's say under combat, when you kill people, the current multiplier is 0.2. So keeping that same example in mind, if 100 XP is the minimum XP, 0.2 of 100 is 20. So you get at least 20 XP from killing someone. Let's say that's not enough for you. You go into that and you can set anything from 0.10 up to 10. So a 10 times multiplier on 100 will give you at least 1,000. Now imagine you had your max reward set to something like 6,000. 6,000 times 10, that's 60,000. So yes, the customization is fully there to earn as much as you would like. Sorry for the in-depth explanation. With SKSC I plan to have exact values that you can enter, but for now you can basically choose from presets. So I'd be super keen if I can get you to use the mod and test it out, because then I can obviously add things that you would like to have added. It's always exciting. Yeah, about the kills? Yeah, you do. So it tracks the damage that was dealt, and when your companions kill any targets, you will get experience as well. Yeah. I just recently discovered a major breakthrough, which is going to be really awesome for an enhancement in this mod. I can actually individually track what you've killed. So that means I can also check if you actually killed the target. So I can make sure that you were the one that killed it. So there could be an option where it only rewards XP if you actually killed the target and not your companions. But for now, it takes into account all sources of damage, and as long as the target was killed with you initiating or having hit the target at least once, then it will count as you having killed it. This is one of my other mods, my Sky Shard mod. That is true, yeah. So let me show you an example of the, you know, I mentioned the API. So this Skyrim XP add-on mod that I've been working on, I have now added an API where other mod authors can provide you with experience points if you do something in their mod. Now I thought, what better way to showcase this than use my own mod, my Sky Shards mod. So watch this. When you absorb a Sky Shard, which is my other mod, check the top left now. Oh, sorry, we have notifications disabled. No, I killed myself. Oh god. Oh, so yeah. Let's get back to that and put our notifications on this time. Miscellaneous, toggle notifications. Okay, let's go find the Sky Shard again. This time not die. I know it says disabled instead of enabled. I kind of switched them around. I just gotta change that. Okay, so look at my experience points quickly, right? Notice that my experience points are 0. I want to prove this to you. So as you know, Sky Shards are not part of the base game. That means there wouldn't be a stat that can be tracked, right? Now watch this. Ah, god damn it! I harvested the flower. Let's try that again. So my experience points are 0. As you can see again, let's do this. Hold on, why is my notifications... help DMN SXPA event handler? Are notifications on or off? Let's try that real quick. No, 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 don't kill me. Now I'm confusing myself. Oh, we're gonna get errors. The reason for that is, I can show you now. So the reason for that is because if I go to my Sky Shards mod here, where's my absorb script? There it is. the mod support needs to change because we have that requirement. Do we show notifications or not? So where is our mod support? Our mod support is over here. And bool p show notification. And we're gonna set that as true by default. So you don't have to set that. And then under the API, there we go. So now if we go compile that, it should be good. And the API as well, compile. There we go, we can jump straight back into that. Yeah, so I've slowly been trying to get more ESO mods into Skyrim. Sure, can always use more ideas. I mean, I'm trying to obviously build up a little portfolio of mods, and it's exciting. What kind of mod did you have in mind? I'm absolutely useless when it comes to textures and stuff like that. So for me it's mainly scripting. I could script pretty much anything. I'm confident now, 2 years of working with Papyrus. Here we go. A hidden value to track down sanity. Okay. And I'm assuming sanity decreases based on certain things like lack of light or time of day. Something like that. So let's see if we get the notification for absorbing the sky shard. Did I not pass that value now? So confused. We did call reward mod XP. Mod name, action. always the small things. Always the small things. There we go. Solved the problem. So let's compile this. This is the mod support. Compile. There we go. All hidden value track and all that summoning of evil Daedras needs to have a price you pay. Keep it simple. Let's just make that evil thing all the goody doers actually do without knowing they do evil things. They're aware of what it is they do. Wow, that just like blew my mind. So it's the only time that you, what is it, you gain or lose sanity when you summon Daedra. Okay, champion of Moloch Val, nice. If you try to control the other Daedra, it should be more like meeting the old ones from Cthulhu. Okay, so you track sanity, which increments every time you summon Daedra. I assume specific Daedra or all Daedra? And what is the point of that? Like, does something happen once you have a certain amount? Or are you just tracking it? Okay, so for now you just track. The cool thing about that is you track immediately, and then with updates you can always add consequences which retroactively apply. Okay, I'm pretty confident we got it this time, so if you would please look to your top left corner of the screen. We should get a notification. Ah, I love it. That's the best way to travel around Skyrim. I'm just gonna have a nap right there, okay? Oh, this is why I love doing what I do. Okay. Interesting mod. Yeah, that's definitely doable, the whole sanity decreasing over time. It's pretty easy, and you can like obviously customize the rate of that. Any ideas? Like, should your vision change? Should it get a bit darker? Should things randomly spawn around you that try to kill you? Because if you have these ideas, and like you make a list of ideas for me, I can definitely action that. I'm pretty serious about that. Like, it sounds pretty simple enough. Like, I could have something within like half an hour. You know what I just realized? Why this keeps failing and is flipped around. Under our event handler, we have that boolean for show notification, but guess what? Show notification is set to false by default. We must enable it to true. By default we want notifications on. There we go. Problem solved. For real this time, like swear. I might also switch to different ideas so you can understand the sanity part for yourself better. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely interested. Like, it could give me a break from this, because I've been working on this non-stop for like 3 weeks now. I've added insane amounts of updates. TT Dell. Okay, that was meant as a joke, sorry. I'm being like literal right now. What's the time zone for you, by the way, Stupid Side? Because it's currently 20 to 4 in the afternoon here. It all started with necromancy being pretty much useless since there is conjuration. Right. Up there far north, okay. Are we gonna get a notification message? Come on! Hate you. I'm gonna destroy you. I'm gonna devour your soul. Germany. Okay, nice. Wait, that's a what the? That's the first time I've seen a what? Go up there? That's the first time I've seen a bird perch in a tree. What? And there it flies off. And that's not a mod. That's like vanilla Skyrim. That's a rare occurrence. You don't often see them because there aren't many markers in trees. Look how badly textured it is. God. I guess from down here looks a bit better. Not really. I know like in the beginning in some parts. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying, River Road. But I mean like, obviously you don't see it often is what I was trying to say. It's like a very rare occurrence. Unless you use something like Birds of Skyrim, I think it was. We're not supposed to be up there. What are you, a god now? You're not supposed to be up there. Oh god, the Jarl is going to find out about this. Please don't report me to the Jarl. We're not really in good standing. Yeah, so go on, like you're saying. So necromancy is useless. Well, in order to make necromancy worth it, other than a quick XP grab, there needs to be consequences for conjuration. Yeah, I definitely agree. Necromancy should drive you just as mad. I guess, unless you had like some kind of blood magic or whatever that was actually physically... I guess it's like emotionally a mental state. Yeah, definitely, that is a good enough explanation. So do you have any idea what the consequences should be? Like anything at all? I mean, there's many cool things we can play around with, like decreased health, health that doesn't regenerate fully, your health like depletes over time. Those are all health examples, that's a bad example. Well, crazed mages could be treated as hostiles like vampires. Careful, not fully thought through. Consequences could be not being able to learn, maybe, or less. Not being able to learn. Learn what exactly? After XP limit. Maybe if you summon them you don't get XP for the time they are around, like as if you're a werewolf. Oh, you mean XP from like, example my mod or another mod that gives you XP? Or what XP do you mean? That should go there. So simply 0 XP for all actions while 2 mad could be good. Yeah, I just don't summon Dangerous and roleplay the Sanity. Never really thought about actual consequences yet. Okay. So you want a way to gain... Okay, so it should be you gain insanity, right? Or should it be you have a certain amount of sanity? So let's say 100 or whatever, and every time you summon, you lose a portion of the sanity, and over time the sanity slowly replenishes. Should it be like, can you go into negatives amount of insanity? Or does it just stop at 0? And can you still keep summoning at 0? Or does it stop you from being able to summon?
Told you to walk away. That was my first and last mistake. I'm blue without your face. But what can I do? 'Cause I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just a pair of lips that I've lost in the moment. All I want is for you to come back. Now I'm caught in the middle of life, and I need you to survive. Whoa, I need you to survive. 'Cause without you by my side, I can't survive.
I have a starting value of 10, and when you are at 0 or below, you're considered insane. The recovery could be even slower the more mad you have become. It should be like, if you use these evils to help you out one time, you're almost in the danger zone. Do it again and suffer, and again and you need some time off. Okay, this is getting interesting.
I won't just settle for being your friend. A broken bond is not too late to mend. But what can I do? 'Cause I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just a pair of lips that I've lost in the moment. All I want is for you to come back. Now I'm caught
Just make them feel they're doing evil things there. However, a champion would be protected. That creates a problem though, as there are no specific dangers for the different princes. Now what champion? You mean like if you was Murloc Ball or something? Murloc has Daedros, Murloc would have Ogrims, Dagon has Dramoris. Ah, I see. Ogrims don't exist in the base game, but Mikhail or something? I think they modded in Ogrims. And they are winged Twilights. And I'm pretty... yeah, I think Mikhail did all of them. They are Golden Saints and all that, so... yeah, I mean, I guess if we contact him to get permission to summon them, I guess, so we'd want to add them as a summon or something? So basically just get permission, then utilize it in the mod, then you can summon them. How much time do you have right now? That could be interesting, yeah. Yeah, that would be possible. No, I mean, it's something interesting to do, so I really don't mind. Configurator menu. Just want to see something real quick.
Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill. Oh yeah. Take you like a pill. Maybe I'll leave, baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill. Oh yeah. Take you like a
To consume it every time is hardly realistic, of course. And you'll add a thing like there's a chance that fire salts get consumed if you summon a flame archer now. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's true. You don't want to like waste them too much. You could set the chance for that and whatnot.
To hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one. Only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules. My life destroyed. Life destroyed. Until I woke awake, scream my mind. I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? Can I take?
Man, you add one thing and look how many things you have to change.
Can I be your superhero?
This is all for the show notifications.
Can I be your superhero? Superhero. Superhero.
Make necromancy great again. And imagine that's what the name of the mod is called. Make necromancy great again. Imagine how funny that would be. Cool, so now we can go and compile all that. Jeez, how did you come up with that? That is pretty impressive. You're just sitting there thinking, you know what? Skyrim needs this. So important. We have no bugs. Wow, we managed to compile all of this without issues.
Take the wrong and you make it right. Like a firefly, you are glowing at night. So don't make it hard, don't let me go. I wanna hold you tight when you're cold. I'm waiting for your love, you just keep me hanging on.
But sadly, you fail when it comes to finding the time to learn this unintuitive CK. You need the Papyrus language, especially if you have to deal with setting up the compiler for a whole day and the store doesn't work. Yeah, I remember my first time. The most frustrating time ever. So yeah, that was actually what I was trying to ask you. Once I get this done, how much time do you actually have right now? Sorry, no, I'm back. No, that's not what I meant. What I was actually trying to say is how much time do you have, like, right now, like, free to spare? Like, how long can you still be here for? That's what I mean. No, why I asked is because I have a little time right now. If you'd like, I can jump straight in and like put together a bit of that mod. If you'd like, so we can like do it right now. Plenty of coffee in your kitchen. You should share that coffee with me. I could use some. Oh no, I'm watching a wolf be attacked by a goat. My insanity is going down. My screen is turning red. I'm losing my sanity. And now I've entered dark water, oh god. Yeah, I mean, it helps to iterate several things at once. Because with the skills that I have, it allows me to be able to focus and then basically push things really fast. And I mean, it's just to get a working beta out for you to play around with. So unless you like have to run off now, I can just do the basic part, which is set up the system where you can earn insanity, basically. So I was thinking just that. So then we can like do that together if you like. Yeah? Do you want to do that now or another time? So I don't mind right now, I have a little bit of time and I can do that, and I don't think it'll take long. Famous last words. Yeah? So should we do that right now? Okay, hell yeah, let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna quickly update the stream, so I'm just gonna end the stream and then start it again, just so that it becomes a separate thing. So I'll see you right here, same place. See you now.